All right. Of course, no changes as Ohio State remains in the number 1 spot. Unanimous over in the coaches poll, all 65 first place votes, 60 first place votes in the AP top 25, Indiana getting the other 6. A tumble, as we would expect, for Miami as the Canes fall to Louisville on Friday night. They are down 7 spots to number 9. Texas Tech, another team that was previously in the top 10 and lost to an unranked team. Texas Tech falls 7 spots from number 7 to number 14. There was going to be some shakeup. We had 5 ranked games, and some of that changes include LSU taking a drop after the loss to Vanderbilt, but not out. Tennessee takes a drop after the loss to Alabama, but not out. A very small downgrade for Ole Miss as the Rebels just took their first loss of the season, down 3 spots to number 8. You see a big surge for Vanderbilt up into the top 10, though honestly, disrespectful. 10's too low for that Vanderbilt team. I'll go ahead and throw that out there. They needed to be higher. I wanted to see some school history here on Sunday in the AP Top 25. The other notable moves up include just some slight bumps. Cincinnati keeps the winning ways going as they take a couple spots up. BYU 7-0 now after the win against Utah. They were up 4 spots to number 11. And the Bees, Georgia Tech, up 5 spots to number 7. DK, whether it's movements, rankings, or specific ballots, what stood out this week? Ooh, muted. Leaf blower.
The blower's still going.
Boy, I was trying to help out the show.
I know.
The guys out there right now. Okay, they're gone now, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. So no more leaf blowers. I think I got a little bit lazy. Usually I'm trying to stay on the voters, make sure they're paying attention, bring some things to their attention. For instance, when we had Texas and Penn State lose, it was like, all right, can we start looking at who they've beaten? And they had unprecedented drops out of the top 25. And we applauded them. Way to go. But you got to stay on top of these guys. You got to stay on top of them, because I would ask the same question for Tennessee and LSU now with 2 losses apiece. Yep. Where are their best wins? And yet they just kind of dropped them because they were in their top 25. Well, let's just put them about 5 or 6 spots down. Let's just ding them a little bit. But if you look at them, who have they beaten? They really don't have those signature wins. If you wanted to say LSU beat Clemson, sure, but Clemson just lost again. That's not really a resounding win. I think there are other teams more deserving that should be ahead of those 2 teams. So I got to do a better job of getting on these voters early Sunday AM, help them do their research a little bit.
Like USC.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is Tennessee like 10 spots ahead in the voting polls than USC?
Fair.
Yeah. Those resumes are...
USC handled Michigan, which is at 25.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, USC has a good win. Tennessee has a good loss, and kind of the Bama game was probably somewhat closer than the scoreboard in some ways. I mean, that 99-yard pick six changes quite a bit, but
but it still happened.
It did. No, it did. Yeah, right. No, I agree, but defensive scores are one play, and they're somewhat random. Now, granted, maybe they're a little bit less random with Joey Aguilar, but that feels like too big of a gap to me there.
Quick little sidebar. Have you all seen any of the fan footage or some of the other in the stadium cameras from that pick six?
No.
Bryant-Denny Stadium just just took the top off. I mean,
I saw something down 2 miles down the road. There was some guy outside, and I heard the crowd.
I believe it. Again, I've taken in a couple of these, whether it was one of the photographer media members who was down there on the sideline, or fans who were down there in the lower bowl. Bryant-Denny Stadium is such a behemoth that I think that sometimes it does take the surprising sort of good play to really get to see what the full volume is. Scoop and scores, pick sixes, those are the ones where you're just that thing might have levitated. It was a very, very cool, and in the rivalry too, in the night game under the lights, Bryant-Denny Stadium roared during that play. And
it reminded me of the was it 2009? The Julio screen pass against LSU.
Oh, where he
shook couldn't do it. It's down the same sideline. You have it's such a long play, long developing. It's obvious he's going to score. Like the long buildup of the crowd volume as he heads to the end zone.
Yeah. Dude, I think Greg McElroy told a cool story on his radio show with Cole Kublik about how earlier in that game, Julio had dropped like 2 or 3 passes in a row. I guess they must have been talking about Ryan Williams. And he was like, no, we just keep feeding him. And guess what happened? One of the best plays of the entire season. Special athletes like that. Julio Jones. All right. Sorry for the sidebar. Tom, any
great sidebar.
Rankings wise?
I mean, Danny touched on it a little bit. LSU still being at 20 despite not having a win over a Power 4 team with a winning record. Like their best win record-wise is Louisiana Tech at 4-2. Like congratulations on that. And then you've got some guy like named Brett McMurphy still including them at 14th on his ranking. And then a woman named Haley Sawyer. I don't know if we've brought that name up. Also has them up at 14th. It's like I just don't understand. Like I understand they were in the top 5 a month ago. But what the hell have you seen from that team since? And compared to how that resume has collapsed, like, let's reevaluate things, fellas, because they're not a good football team. I picked them to win the national title with 1,000% confidence before the year. I've sold all my stock. I've changed my mind. I have seen the light. They are not good. They're not bad, but they're just an average-ish team. They should not be in the top 20. They should not be anywhere near the top 20 right now. They probably shouldn't be ranked. And Chip, you already mentioned my other big point, just hilarity. That Michigan is at 25th and USC is the first team and others receiving votes, even though I think it was 9 days ago there, whatever, that USC beat Michigan like pretty soundly.
31-13.
But since USC lost to Notre Dame, now they're worse than Michigan again. I just love when stuff like that happens. I mean, and it's going to happen at this point in the year when there's a lot more, familiarity between all these teams.